Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbal Space Program Hardcore mode. For those people that are new to the series, what this is I'm playing on hard mode, which amongst other things does mean that I cannot quick save, cannot revert to launch, or any of that kind of stuff. So whatever happens kind of happens, and I gotta live with it. I also did myself the further disservice of turning the rate at which I'm collecting science down to 30% of what it is normally, but I don't know, I'm starting to think that my science poverty might be coming to a close with this mission. This here is the Ares, and aboard we have Valentina, Roland, Dr. Jekyll, and Bill. This is on day 229 of their mission, and we are in orbit about Gilly. You can see that there's Eve over there. We're in orbit about Gilly. We have been down to the surface in 2 different biomes, collected all kinds of science, unsuccessfully deployed the Breaking Ground DLC surface science stuff. It just would not deploy for us. I really do think it was Parallax. I think one of the things, because I've deployed that stuff on Gilly before, it should work. So I think Parallax was somehow interfering, but I think disabling Parallax involved leaving the game and coming back to it, which I wasn't going to do in a live stream. That would be crazy. So I kind of just lived with it and just kind of chucked everything on the surface and left it there as debris. One suggestion that did come from a YouTube viewer in the comments was to use Alt F12 and to hack the gravity and increase the gravity on Gilly, and maybe that would get it to stick to the surface. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was the problem, but yeah, it might have been fun to try. But either way, that's all done because I don't have the fuel capacity left in this beastie to, is there any, there's still data aboard here. Okay, I gotta remember that. To get down to the surface again. I actually probably could land this entire thing on the surface, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get these folks back home. So we're towards the conclusion of last stream. Just sort of put us out into orbit map view here. Played around with some maneuver nodes and played between the 2 suggestions of either blasting straight out of Eve and going back to, or not out of Eve, I'm sorry, out of Gilly's orbit and blasting right towards Kerbal, or would it be better to drop on down to, you know, an elliptical orbit, get really close to Eve, use the Oberth effect then to do another burn really close to Eve to then do the final push to get us heading out towards Kerbal. And I think, after just some playing around, it was not conclusive, but what I think I'm going to go for is the getting down close to Eve and then blasting my way back out again. And by the way, that's not always the correct solution. I did a video, this is a couple of years ago, where I was in orbit of Lathe, and I did a whole tutorial of what are the different ways to get back from Lathe and what is the cheapest. And in that situation, I looked at 4 different ways to do it. And in that one, the cheapest way was to blast straight out of Lathe orbit. And by the way, just so for people that aren't aware, if you use this little built-in maneuver tool and say, oh, go from my current orbit and get me to Kerbal, notice that the option isn't even there. Like, I don't have it. It can't do it. This says the orbit is too inclined or too high, but and even if I did, it probably is a bit inclined. Yeah, it is. Definitely isn't too high. But even if I fixed all that and zeroed out the inclination, it still won't be able to do it because it won't do it between, you have to cross, you know, a couple of SOIs, right? You have to go from here into Eve's SOI, then into the Sun's SOI, and then into Kerbal's SOI. And this maneuver tool can't handle those multiple SOI changes. You can go from low orbit about Eve, providing your orbit is pretty circular and inclination of 0, but it won't do it around a moon about Eve or any other moon for that matter. It just doesn't work. So the maneuver tool is not going to serve us. So that is going to be the plan for today, to try and get these folks back home. The issue is, if I go back, scroll further out in map view, is that the correct phase angle, the transfer angle to go from Eve to Kerbal, is when Kerbal is 36 degrees ahead of Eve, like over here, right? Approximately over here. Now we can use Kerbal Engineer to help us out here. We got to select Kerbal as a target. So that's celestial bodies. Okay, I don't know what's going on there, but we'll have to do it this way then. And set that as a target. And it is marking the correct phase angle for me. It is currently 295 degrees or thereabout, and it's measuring the angle from Eve all the way around. It always measures it counterclockwise, is always positive, all the way around to here, and that's 295 degrees. We need that to be 36. So we're gonna have to do some time warping in order to get that done, and I don't think I can do the time warping from here because I'm pretty sure I'm limited to how fast I can go. I stand corrected. Okay, I can time warp full out here. Okay, so maybe we will do it from here. But before, let's get back in the sun. Before we do that, we're going to get one of our scientists here. And we're going to just make sure that I do have all the science out of here. So we have, yeah, if I have a collect data option, then that's that. And we're going to leave the lander behind. That is going to be chucked away. Any data in there? Nope. One up. Oh, take data from that. I was just taking data like a madman. I probably did miss some stuff. It's really easy to miss stuff. Miss opportunities, but honestly, I think I'm going to do okay anyway. You might also recall, oh, that seems to be about it. Anything hiding in here? It says I can store the experiments in there. I do have an EVA kit I can grab, or a repair kit. I should make sure to get that. But I'm not going to stress too much about it. Let's see. Store the experiments. Is it going to let me store them all? It did. Okay, cool. All right, board. If there was a duplicate of one of those experiments, and by duplicate I meant same experiment in the same situation, you know, high space, low space, surface landed, whatever, and in the same biome, you can't store multiple copies of the same one. I always get people that tell me, like, get very confused by it, and I can kind of understand it. They think that there's some sort of science cap as to how much you can store in your vessel, and there isn't. But what it does stop you from doing is having duplicates of experiments. That's what you can't do. Okay, so Ode, was there a time change in Europe? I am sorry about that, Oliver. We are looking at our time change coming up in this weekend, this Sunday. So then I'll be back in sync with you again, Oliver. Yeah. I can't keep track of all the time changes. So that's that. Yeah. There was cargo in here, right? Yeah. Let's throw that in here. Waste not, want not. There we go. Okay. Otherwise, what have we got for science here? We should keep an eye on that. These guys are busily cranking out science at 14.7 science per day. And we still got months to go, so there's going to be a lot of science coming. But you can only hold 500 science at a time, so I just got to keep an eye on it and make sure that it can get. I would like to wear a science cap. Yes, we should have that as a merchandise science cap. Okay, so we're going to just start time warping. I'm going to do it from here. And what I'm doing is watching this phase angle, but I'm also watching... Oh, whoa. We're at our science limit already. So we've got to make sure we're well in the sun here. And we're going to transmit our science. They are slowly cranking this data and making it into science. Can time warp that, transmit away. There we go. Okay. Do some more. Again, this is the angle here, the phase angle. So we're going to spend our time here, and we're already approaching. You can see how much science. There's another batch of almost 500 science there. Transmit that science. You know, these two being level 4s and having so much science data to play with, they are really cranking up the science. Should really... Oh, I did this in the dark. That was bad. Even with all the batteries. Oh, we're okay, but... Wow, even with all the batteries aboard, we just ran out of electric charge. Just charge back up again. Even with all the batteries that are aboard this thing. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, we do have, if I click on the science... Oh, I'm still time warping. There we go. I do have a lot of experiments stored. Now, some of these I'm going to just take home, like this guy here. This temperature scan. Well, I don't know. But there's some here like this 01. I can just transmit that into data. That is 56 data. So that will fit. So we'll crunch that into data. We now have 605 data. We have a maximum of 750. This material, well, let's keep that one. Let's look for the ones that are zeros first. Temperature scan. There's one that's a 0. That's 27 data. Yep, that'll fit. That's another 0. That's 84 data. That'll fit. And this one's 75 data. That will not fit. Oh, and this one, this one will not allow, I guess I already did it once, so we might as well just trash that. There's nothing here, nothing to collect, nothing to transmit, nothing to convert into data, so we'll just hit the trash button. Keep that one, keep that one. Looking for those zeros, that's it, okay. Okay. It's really, oh, time changing, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I thought people were having issues with my time warping here. I hope that's not a problem. I should put up warnings. I should say, you know, a seizure warning here. Oh, we're at 500 again. Oh my god, this is so much science. Let's get into the sun before I hit transmit this time. There we go. Oh, and I'm noticing these solar panels are starting to line up. That will happen over time, so I might just... I'm still time warping. Oh. This one. Just do a little pitch down here maneuver. A little more perpendicular to the sun. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I went too far. Back in line. Just getting it all parallel to this galaxy cluster is the way to do it. That works. Okay. Transmitting again. And I know there are people that consider this a little on the cheaty side, which I can appreciate. Okay, that's all done. I might get to the point where I just get bored of doing it from here, because like we're filling this science up like nothing. Okay, that is 500 science again, pretty much. Again, noticing. Okay, and transmit. Is that the moon? No, this is Gilly. This is Gilly that we are in orbit of, and we're waiting for our transfer window back to Kerbal. And while we're waiting, I am transmitting science. I might get to the point where I just get bored of this and just like... But every time the science is filling up to 500, I'm letting another transmission go by. Like right now, there we go. That's 500 again. We're pretty close. So transmit that. I can start cranking out a bit more data here too. What is our science at? We're at 4,641.41.5 science. Keep in mind too, I'm at 30% the normal science gathering rate. So this is quite bonkers. Let's review our data, see if we got some more science we can crank through here. I'm looking for the ones that are zeros first, like this guy. 75 data there. That'll work. Oh, that one could be just transmitted flat out, that previous one. Okay, that's it. So I might now, done all the ones that are worth 0 science. I might now like take ones like this one that's not worth a lot of science and grind that into data, because you'll get a lot more science processing it in the science lab than anything else. Same with this one. Process that. Why don't I just transmit this guy flat out? This guy can process him into data. This guy. This one I'll hang on to for now. Hang on to him. Hang on to him. This one. 68 data. Yep, that'll fit. Hang on to him. Hang on to this one. Hang on to this one. This one. 75 data. Will that fit? It will not. I'm kind of coming to the end of this. 30 data. That'll fit. Yep. Okay. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay. I still have science. Somehow I think my transmission got blocked off there. Or is it still? Oh, it's still transmitting. Still transmitting. 100%. There we go. Okay, our phase angle is down to 190. So that's good. Remember, we're aiming for 36. Phase angle's now at 173. Oh my golly. Okay, transmit science. If you undock the lander, it will transmit faster because it uses the fastest antenna. Yeah, isn't this my fastest antenna? We'll use the faster, it will be faster because it used the faster antenna. Yeah, like, isn't that this guy? I'm not sure of the logic. Like, there's a Communitron 16, and I agree that's the lowest one. In fact, this one can't reach Kerbal anyway, so it has to be using this antenna, I would think. But I don't know. It could be wrong. Oh, we transmitted all that. Good. Okay. Okay, that's 500 again. Might need to do, yep, have to do the, and a little bit of a adjustment here. We can transmit while we do this. I got a feeling I'm going to be processing all this data before we even get to the point that we're going to be doing our transfer. Okay, let's review our data again. Gonna keep that one, 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 keep that one. Let's process this one. Keep that one. We can transmit this one. Again, EVA report from Gilly's Highlands. Transmit that. Keep that one, keep that one, keep that one. There we go. I think I'm done. So when this data is processed, I think these folks have done what they can. Okay. Again, yeah, let's keep going. I got to keep an eye on the phase angle, because if it ends up going past the 36 degrees, of course, I've really botched this. Have to go. It's going to be like a couple of years before it comes back again. Transmitting again. It uses the Communitron 16 for calculation. The transmission speed to calculate the transmission speed. Get rid of it and use it, and it uses the other one. Okay. But I always thought it uses the fastest antenna, which would be this one. I have no trouble getting rid of the lander. Why don't we get rid of the lander? I'm perfectly comfortable getting rid of the lander. The lander has no... Here, let's transmit away this science first. Yeah, that's not done. Man, every time... Oh, I'm still time warping. To keep readjusting this. Now we can get rid of the lander. Now the lander, one of my oversights, one of my many oversights, was that there's no probe body on this lander, so stop going back. There. Stay there. Why? I'm not locked. Okay, there. It keeps wanting to roll back. I don't know why. So we're going to transfer Valentina, who is over here. And I'm just going to get it moving. Oh, what should I do? I don't know. You see, I'm nervous getting rid of the lander because if I put it in an orbit... You know what? I think I can get Valentina back. This might be a high-risk maneuver, but I think I can get away with it because it's Gilly. And I'll crash it into the surface. So transfer crew, Valentina, into here. Can undock this lander. This turns out to be a bad idea. I can always just fly the lander back. And now I should have SAS, and I should be able to put this onto the retrograde vector. And we should be able to put on RCS, and we should be able to deorbit you. And then Valentina should have... Oh, wait, before I go any further. Valentina does have her EVA pack with her. Yes, she does. So she'll have to EVA back. So I'm just going to get this kill velocity until this thing's going to impact the surface. Because I'm... Oh, it's already there. Okay. And Valentina EVA. And we'll fly back. Come on, Valentina. All of a sudden I was realizing it wasn't going to take that much speed to lose that. There we go. Maybe just use the antenna. Oh, that would have been a good idea. Use the engineer just to get rid of the antenna. I was going to get rid of the lander anyway. Because that's just unnecessary weight. But that might have been a good idea. But this worked. This worked. Because it's Gilly, it wasn't going to be that much to deorbit anyway. So all of a sudden I kind of realized that and realized I could deorbit that thing and still just EVA Valentina back. Just looking for where is there's the hatch. She's going to get into the command capsule here at the front. And she's going to board. And now, like, she has, if we go into cockpit view, she should have it. Oh, she's got a docking port in her way. Just a little bit of a better view. Okay. How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? We have transmitted our science, so we're back to time warping again. We'll see if it goes faster this next time. Okay, we're back. Still okay. Okay, transmit. See if it goes faster. So transmits. Oh, I'm still time warping. Transmit science. I can't tell if it's going faster or not. Done. Okay, keep going. At 98 degrees now on the phase angle. That's the thing now I'm more watching than anything. I'm going to stop before I get to 36. 75. 60s. Okay, I'm going to do another transmission here. We're back to pointing straight at the sun again. Okay. See how it goes backwards? Why are you going backwards? Just stay in that spot. I could always do the time warp. That'll freeze it. And I got no more data to process. Everything else is... Do I have data up here? There's stored data up here. Oh my gosh. I got this mystery goo observation here. I got... Okay. None of this. Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't process this because I... Oh, I think most of it is duplicates. Sorry, let me review that again. I got 22 stored here. I think I got a lot of duplicates or stuff I've already processed. This is all stuff I've already processed. I was thinking maybe because this is not stored in the lab, I wasn't going to get the process button, but I noticed on the very last one it did show up. There, I can process this one. For 101 data, yeah, that'll fit. Alright, that's it. Now I'm done with all the processing. Okay, again, 36 degrees. 60 degrees. Okay, I'm stopping around 43 degrees. Okay, and now it's time to start thinking about what we're doing here. Now, in order to get back to Kerbal, I have to eject myself. See, now Kerbal's over here. I need to eject myself in a prograde direction relative to Eve's direction going in orbit about the sun. So what that means is I'm going to need to be doing my ejection burn around here-ish, right? So that it will come around and out that way. So that means I need to have Gilly around here-ish. Now I'm going to stop a little bit early. So I'm going to time warp until Gilly does not move very quickly around in its orbit. I don't know what this... Oh, there's a satellite or something in around Eve that it keeps picking up. Okay, let's stop for a sec. A little further. Actually, this is a good view. When Gilly gets around where this orbit is. There is some sort of satellite. There has to be. Or something. I don't know what's going on. Okay. What is my phase angle? 39 degrees. I don't know if I do, like, Gilly's period's pretty freaking long. I don't know if I can do a whole nother orbit before I'm back here. So I'm thinking this might be the time to do this. So, let's just get this out of the way. Whoa! Come back. I guess it would have told me what I'm connected to up here. Okay. So, we are, let me think. We have to go anti this way to bring our periapsis with Eve down. So that's the first plan. Like that. And we'll go over to the maneuver. And I was doing a lot of this playing around last time. Because I just wanted to kill some time at the end of the stream, I gotta be honest. But I'm hoping this time I'll be able to do it a little more quickly. Okay. That's making it smaller. Going in 10-second jumps. I'm gonna go for about 120. Now, to be honest, I think I'm going a little early. Oh, that's making it higher. Playing with the time, just getting it as low as I can with just the time. And then about 115. Let's really dial this in. Oh, I was pretty dialed in there, I think. Yep. A little off on the retrograde, about there-ish. So that's the idea. I do this 188 meter per second burn. That'll get me buzzing right by Eve. I think I'm a little bit early, but that's okay. We can adjust for that. And then this guy is going to be the ejection. Now I can tell this is early because it should eject itself along this orbit of Eve. It should be going more that way. So I'm too early, but I kind of did that on purpose. And you can already see how I am with this second maneuver, already getting past Kerbin's orbit. There's our close encounter indicators. See how that works? And then this second burn, this second maneuver, is only 107. So, oh my gosh, like I'm in the ballpark already. This is 188 meters per second on the first burn and about 117 on the second burn. So, BAMO. Why 120? Why not shortly above the Atmo 95? I'm a wimp. That's why, Oliver. I'm 100% a wimp, but you're right, it should be lower. Especially now that I'm seeing that this second burn is so short. So yes, it is the closer you get to Eve, the better. But I don't know. If I was worried the burn was going to be longer than that, it's not going to be longer than that. But you're right, I should definitely lower. But first thing I got to do is notice that I am too early. So we're going to go later in Gilly's orbit about Eve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this maneuver kind of out of the way. We're going to go to the first maneuver. I love this maneuver tool that you can just select them from here. And we're going to pop ahead a pile of orbits. Because Gilly goes really slow. So I want it to be more like when Gilly's around here-ish, probably. Unfortunately, it's not going to show me that. But if I go ahead and orbit, that's 2 hours later, 3 hours later, 4 hours later. Oh, no, it's not. I'm making numbers up. Okay, move this out of the way. There we go. And now I can adjust the timing of this first maneuver. Get you be gone. I don't want to just lose this one, but I want it to be well out of the way, that's all. And what I'm looking at is this periapsis, the purple one. That one. Okay. Again, play with time. Oh, that's the second maneuver. First maneuver. Get it as low as I can. That's probably about it there. Yikes. The other thing that's happening as well is that Gilly is in a very elliptical orbit. So the burns are going to be very different depending upon exactly where I do it. Now I'm going to be closer to Eve when I do it. More. I agree. Eve's atmosphere is 90. I'm going to bring it to 100 because I'm still a bit of a wimp. But I'll go for 100. 100 kilometers there. Again, play with the time. Get it as low as I can just by playing with the time. I think I'm pretty close to the right spot. There we go. And now we'll put this burn. So this burn is increased a bit because we're closer to Eve. So Gilly's going faster, all of that stuff. Put it right on the PE like that. And you can see, oh, that's looking better. I think I still need to be. You can see how it's, I brought that angle down a bit. But actually now the second maneuver is going to be less. I can see that. Bring this down like that. There's our encounter. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, probably just a couple more orbits on the first maneuver. Back to number 1. 1, 2, 3. He says just with. Again, move this guy way out of the way because I want to look at that periapsis without any nonsense around it. And then we're going to, still on the first maneuver, play with this timing here. That made it worse. Oh. No, that's making it better. My mistake. Oh. That's about the right spot there. Again, I'm increasing this burn. And again, it's just because I'm getting closer to Eve. But I think this burn increases while the other one decreases. is what's happening. Okay. It's going the wrong way. 120, 119. And I'm one of these weird people that I actually find this, and I know maybe it's not the most enjoyable thing to watch, but I honestly find this one of the most satisfying things to do in a game, are plotting out these little maneuvers and trying to get them as accurate as you can. So you can see here, we're doing that, and then we're doing this guy, and that needs to go right on the PE, as best I can guesstimate it. And now we're taking a look at our ejection, and see how this ejection, if anything, I went a little too far. I got a little bit of radially in now. If I go to that second maneuver now and take a little retrograde out. I like that the AN is really close. So I'm actually crossing the orbit. There's my encounter. I think I went a little bit too far. I got a little bit of going radially in, so I'm going to go to the first maneuver, back up one orbit, and readjust again. I think I can take a little bit of this off. Quite a lot of it off, in fact. Okay, and we'll play with the timing again. Other way. This has got to be getting really close to the right place. Oh, I hit the lowest point right around. There it is. A little more prograde. Again, going to aim for 100. 100's a nice number. Going the wrong way. There. And now we'll put this guy onto here. Again, aiming for right. We'll adjust this second maneuver after I do the first one. But the idea with this second maneuver, we can probably play with the timing, is to put it right on the PE. Right on the PE there. Right there. Okay, and now that ejection is pretty darn close to being right along Eve's orbit, which means I'm in pretty darn close to the right spot. And we can now start playing with that second maneuver. See if we can finagle in a counter. I think this is working out very well for me. Oh, that was too much. So here's my encounter. Might have to make a bit of a correction. And then I'm losing it. I think I'm going to need to make just a correction. Now, I'm only at... Well, again, this is still 2 days in the future. I'm at 39 degrees on my phase angle, which isn't quite right. It should be 36. But I think I'm going to live with what I got. And we'll just finagle it on our way. 350, 348. Yeah, and then I lose it. So, losing it's not good. Okay, we're going to go with that. Alright, so we've got, what did we end up with at our burns? Our first burn is about 230 meters per second. Our second burn is 99 meters per second. So for about 130 or 330 odd meters per second, we're getting our ejection. And by the delta V map, this is 1070. So we're going to have to make some sort of correction along the way, but we can make that work. All right, I think we're ready. I think we're ready, Eddies. So I wish I could quick save, but I can't. So this thrust limiter, this is a 38-second burn. Let's increase the thrust. Oh, time warping. Let's increase the thrust limiter a bit. 22 seconds. What's it? 18 seconds. I like that. Okay. I think we're ready to go. So let's time warp to here. I'm going to do a few more orbits of Gilly. And watch this phase angle. It's at 38 degrees. I'm really worried if I actually time warped all the way around. Like I could do one more orbit and then try again from this, you know, after one more Gilly orbit. But I got a feeling this is going to be further off from 36 after doing one more orbit than where it is now, where it's just 2 degrees off. Okay, we're going to do this. We're doing this. Oh, and Valentina, being level 4 pilot, now has the lock to the maneuver type of thingy. Excellent. Would it be possible to use the Moon's gravity assist to capture around Kerbal? I've never been able to do that. I have used the Moon to try and slow me down, never to get quite a capture. Oh yeah, I forgot that the textures here are a little bit botched. We are noticeably going faster because we were going so slow before. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to Aerocapture around Kerbal, which is just so much easier anyway. So I've never had cause to try and use the Moon to get a capture around Kerbal. I honestly find it a little bit too much of a pain. I think I overcooked that just a smidge. But we can check this out by simply taking this maneuver, getting it out of the way. Yeah, I overcooked. Oh, yes, I did. So let's just get retrograding a little bit. You know what? Leave it. It doesn't matter. Stop being so silly. It's at 99 kilometers. That's fine. So what I want to do now is put this right on the PE as best I can. Right on that periapsis, peri-eve. We can adjust the timing here a little bit. It's like right in the middle. I think that's pretty darn good. At least by as close as I can eyeball it. I'm going to go with that. You think the Moon is too small? I think it might be. I think the Moon is. And it's, yeah. I've done it with Ike around Guna. I've gotten captures of Guna solely using Ike. And certainly around Joule, that's the way to do it, is to use the Moons to get captures. But we have to give a little bit more burn here. But not around Kerbal. It's way too easy just to Aerocapture. Oops, maneuver, come back. So I'm just going to do it just till I just see those encounters, and actually, yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Okay, so this burn's coming up in 3 days. When are we leaving our SOI here? That's probably not too far away. Six minutes. blowing away from Gilly. Goodbye, Gilly. Okay, we are now in orbit of Eve, and this is now only a 7-second burn. So we're going to, I don't know why, put it on the maneuver node. We're going to reduce this throttle limiter for sure. That's good. All right, and how is our science situation? We've got 388 science. We'll have to do some transmitting. But, you know, before I do this burn, I'm going to set up an alarm. Create an alarm. Oh, shoot. I got to get rid of Kerbal Engineer. So it's always right in the way. For the maneuver, and give me like 5 minutes warning. And add that alarm here. What we're going to do is we're going to visit our folks around the Moon and see how they're doing. You may or may not know this, but I do have a space station, and they've been collecting science all this time too. So we're going to just check to see how they're doing, because it's been a long time since we've looked at them. Oh, okay. See you later, John. All right, so here is my moon station. Let's see how our scientists are doing here. I don't know why these numbers are changing. Like, what's going on here? Okay, that was weird. They have 208 science to transmit, but they only have 10 science left to process. And these guys have been doing, a long time ago, they were doing moon landings, but I'm out of fuel to supply them with. Actually, I got lots of fuel because of this stupid bring 4,000 units of liquid fuel to the station. But what I am out of is oxidizer. So the lander can't go down to the surface anymore. But what I'm thinking of doing, I'm thinking of probably getting these folks down pretty soon. But what I'll let them do is process the rest of this data. And then we'll transmit it, and then we'll start sending them back home. Because they've been here for 5 years, 336 days. Which is a little bit silly. Okay, we are going to go to this. Can I jump to the vessel from here? It's not going to let me. Okay, fine. Be that way. Switch to here. So I don't want to forget about them. That's all that was. Okay. Where's Eve? Now I also should. Here we go. Get this X science thing happening here. We'll also keep an eye on this. Because there might be... Oh! No, there's no science to collect from a crew report. No, there isn't. I've done it. Because we're going to be in near space about Eve. Where are you, Eve? There we are. And we might be over a biome. We might be able to do an EVA report. So if all of a sudden science alert here, or X science is what it's called, if it suddenly chirps in and says, hey, hey, looky look. Electricity's doing okay. Where am I for transmit? Okay. We're going to be doing a transmission pretty soon, but where's Eve? Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. All right. Okay, time warp is, yep, delete and close that. And we're still in high space. Now we might not have enough time in low space to grab an EVA report. I mean, clearly this burn is what's the more important thing. But we're above this giant purple. Oh, we are space near over Eve's Midlands. So we are space near now. Still 3 minutes to the burn. So, and we've been around near space with Eve twice in this mission already. So we've already got a lot, but we certainly didn't get all the biomes. 2 minutes to the burn. Oh, there was something there for a second. Oh, now it's saying peaks, but EVA report says there's nothing there. Oh, it acts differently while I'm time warping. There was a little blip. Still a minute and a half. All right, I think it's better to concentrate on the burn. 410 science to transmit. What am I up to? Like, we're getting crazy. 7,655 science. And we're above the purple clouds of Eve. All right, 28 seconds. Yeah, you got to be a little careful with the lab there. Matthew's talking about, he watched my video about the lab where I just went in excruciating detail over, you know, how to work the lab and just how much science you get. It's crazy. And it is obviously really easy to exploit. Here I am using it, I think, in the way in which it's intended, but it's clearly generating perhaps an unbalanced amount of science. But honestly, I'm kind of in the mood to unlock a huge chunk of the tech tree and start doing some more exciting things. So I'm not going to complain, and hopefully other people won't complain. I just realized I'm not locked on the... I was not on the maneuver node there. Okay, Okay, I'm just going to do this with the burn. Click. Okay, and let's just take a looky look at how this looks from out here. There's our ejection. A little bit of radialness, but not bad. And here is this. Now, if I give... I think I should just try and get the encounter just with a... Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it. And I'm just going to do a mid-course correction. We still have 1,318 meters per second left, and we're going to Aerocapture, so our capture around Kerbal is going to be very cheap. Can I retract these solar panels? I cannot. I put the wrong ones on there. I put the ones you can't retract, which means I'm going to be losing these solar panels when I do my aerobraking. Oh well. Another oversight. Okay, we are in near space above the Explodium Sea. That is shallows. I think we must have gotten a lot of these EVA reports already. Keep seeing shallows. I'm wondering if shallows is... I don't know. I don't know what my... Oh, wait. You know what I can look at? I forgot. X-Science also comes with this. And I can do Eve. And we can look at EVA reports. And near. So I see peaks, impact, ejecta. So those are the ones I got. Now some of them are probably like, you know, I see poles and stuff. I'm not doing that. I got a good chunk of them. Considering that all they were these kind of elliptical passes. They weren't... Oh, now space high. So we're done. Party's over. Okay, let's get back into the sunshine. Okay, and again, this way. Just going to get the solar panels nicely lined up. We'll do another transmit, and then we'll visit our folks on the moon. Oh no, we'll set up the you know, the what you call it. Get these solar panels nicely exposed, just like that. Beautiful. It's 410 science to transmit. There's no reason to wait, so we're just going to transmit that right now. Was this a single launch? Yes, it was. This was a single launch. This was not assembled in orbit. Including the lander on top. It all went up in one go. That was, gosh, now, what, 2 streams ago? 3 streams ago? Something like that. Okay. All right. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, because I was monitoring the lab. So let's set up again an alarm. Create an alarm for the SOI change. Again, give me about 5 minutes warning. So that's coming up in 3 days. Let's go check. Let's go try and see if we can tweak this encounter a little better. So I'm just going to go for about around the halfway point like that. And I'm just going to see what makes it better and what makes it worse. Sometimes radial is kind of the way to go. I should try and get the AN over to here, so we'll do that first with some normal. This might get a little expensive, but we have the fuel. This is probably going to be more expensive than the... Oh, I lost it. And I can tell I need to put some radially out, I believe, to push that trajectory that way. Yep. And then again, some normal to bring that AN close by. More radially out. Might be better with prograde now that I'm looking at it. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm better doing a prograde now. Where is it? This is 32 minutes in the future. Like that. That is now 15 minutes in the future. And we'll play with the... So I think a little more prograde. Doing this while we're still fairly close to Eve is the time to do it for sure. And then do this maneuver. And then this guy will deal with the normal part. Bringing that A in that way. See that? I got a feeling that's the cheaper way to go. Again, back to maneuver 1. A little prograde. Like that. Maneuver 2. A little normal. And I know there's a Oh, I don't know. I might be making it worse, actually. Nope. Nope. There is a Pythagorean theorem thing that goes on when you combine burns, but I think each of these burns are so much less than what would have been the burn out further, especially the prograde one. Then again, I might be wrong. Like, this is already 180. I think I'm making this harder than I need to. Yes, stop it. Making it too hard. Deleting those maneuvers. Going back to just my first plan. I think probably then the best plan is more prograde and normal. Yes, that's the way to do it. There we go. We're getting close now. I'm a doofus and normal. Prograde. There it is. In normal. Where is Kerbal? There's Kerbal. Now here's where I'm going to play with the timing a bit. I can get it closer just with timing. I don't think I am. It is, but... Prograde. I saw a moon encounter there. Oh no, that was a Gilly. That was an Eve encounter. That was a moon encounter. I find the moon actually more of a hassle than it's really worth. That's myself personally. So we're gonna go for an atmospheric dip. Let me see. Let's play with the time again. Because if you can get it to get closer for free without changing the... Yeah. Also be nice if this is as close as I can get to equatorial too, but I don't think I'm going to really be getting that. Okay, let's get back this way. Whoa! That was a big jump. That was only 2 meters per second. Okay. So, what I'm thinking... If I can get the PE to be very close... Whoops! Oh my gosh. That's really... very close to Kerbal's equator. We'll make the plane change when we're... a little bit higher. A little bit out. A little bit higher. I think that's pretty good. We can adjust, obviously, when we're in. So we're going to come in. I got it at 45. We'll use the Trajectories mod to kind of plot this a little bit better, but I think we can do that change when we're in Kerbal's SOY. We're going to do some aerobraking and hopefully not blow anything up. And then we'll do the plane change because we do have what we got a rendezvous with. This here is our ride home. That is our eventual... Well, now I can see, actually, I want to bring this up. Like this. And out. And up. And out. I want the PE to be in the plane of that orbit of the vessel we have to rendezvous with. We're close. There we go. That's good. That's good. Anyway, that maneuver ain't coming for a little bit. So let's go check on our folks around the moon. Now that that's all set up. It's funny how this is more than our ejection was, but that can happen. Where are we? Oh, moon. Stations. Switch to. All right. Oh, the engineers, Oliver, sorry, I'm just noticing that comment now. The engineer could remove the solar panels before entering the atmosphere and then reassemble them after the maneuver. That is not a bad plan. Or we can enjoy the show. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, we'll make that decision in a little bit. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay, we're still just over an hour into the stream. These folks still have... They're still processing. They have hardly any data left, though. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to time warp these folks. See if they'll gobble up the rest of this data. They're hardly producing any science. Where's my alarm? Oh, it's up here at the top. 3 days. We can time warp faster. They're producing science at such an abysmal rate. That I'm really seriously debating whether or not just to say, screw it. Nah, I should leave him up here. All right, let's jump to the vessel. You get, I don't know. I shouldn't jinx it. So I'm being, I'm being told that he gets nervous, doing the atmospheric dips, which I understand, but okay, we got 4.5 minutes. So let's time warp that away. But I've had, and this is going to be jinxing it, I've had very good success. As long as you don't go like at about 45 kilometers, I find that's pretty safe around Kerbal. Aerobraking around Eve is terrifying. I don't do that unless I have some sort of heat shield. Am I out? I'm out. I'm out, aren't I? I'm out. Okay. All right, so we've got a burn coming up in... Again, alarm clock. There we go. Create an alarm for this maneuver. And again, give me 5 minutes warning. I'm just doing this so that I can pop back and forth. Add alarm. Okay, and we can get rid of that. So that alarm is coming up in 75 days. Why don't we just time warp to it? Just do that. Oh, keep an eye on our science. I will bail if this science thing is getting full. Oh, I think we're coming to our burn here. Yep. I think I will transmit this, though. Then we'll go check on our moon folks. I think you'll need the solar panels after the aerobraking. The orbit around Kerbal will take a few days. Yeah, that's true. If I'm, it all is a function of whether the science people are still working. If the science lab is not doing anything, I don't need... This thing doesn't use much electricity and there's a ton of batteries on it, but you might have a point. It might be better. But they might be done. Let's transmit this. And while that's going on, we will get ready for our maneuver here. Valentina will adjust our ship. Oh. I just noticed my electric charge really dipping. I need to do this. Oh, it's done with it's done anyway. But half I did not have good solar panel exposure there. All right. Okay, we're about a minute from the burn, and we're going to view this from Kerbin's perspective. I can try and aim for this trajectory here. And you know what? I don't need to wait these 37 seconds because this is not a time critical burn, so we're just going to do it. Full burn. Full burn. There we go. I love those engine sounds. Those are coming from is this one? Rocket Sound Enhancements, the name of the mod. Sounds great. Oh, well, the solar panel. I thought the docking went very well. When, this. Okay, let's get back to where Kerbin's view is. Here comes. Slow down here. And again, we're aiming for about 45 degrees. But I think getting it into the plane, into the equatorial plane, getting the periapsis into that is the more important thing. I think I'm going to leave it right there. Perfectly fine with that. Any adjustments we need to make, we will make in Kerbin's SOI. So, getting good solar panel exposure. They are still cranking out the science. Now, get into the alarm here. We're going to create an alarm. And this is for the SOI change with Kerbin. And I'm going to give myself an hour's warning on that. There. And that's saying that this alarm's coming up in 51 days and 4 hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a manual alarm because I do not trust these SOI changes when you're going interplanetary. They mess up when you time warp. Or they, not all the time, but often they do. So I'm just going to set a manual alarm for 51 days. Let's just call it 51 days. That's all I need to do. So manual alarm. Now 51 days, 4 hours. 51 days. 4 hours. And this is for the SOI change. I'll write that in and link it to this vessel. Add alarm. Okay. All right, we'll let these folks do their thing. And back to the moon we go and see how they're doing, because I'm really considering just bringing them down. I want to bring all my Kerbals home and then reassess what's going to be the plan moving forward. That's kind of my plan. What's that middle section of the craft? The middle there was... I'll go back to it in a little bit there, Matthew. But there was a docking port on one side and then an antenna on the other. And then I put some struts around just for looks, really. But I'll go back and we'll look at it. And I'm hoping that that's what you mean. These guys... Again, oh, they have 8.59 data left, where they're creating 1.276 science per day. They're hardly using up this data. You know what? Let's just leave them there. Let's just time warping. I was about to sit there. Can I work out how long it's going to take them to use up all this data? But I think that would hurt my head, so I'm not going to. So instead, we're just going to do this until that alarm goes off. And we're going to jump over to the other ship. I think I'm ready. I'm going to transmit these guys and just... I'm abandoning the rest of this data. I don't think it's worth my time. It's time to go home. They're using it at such a low rate. Because what are their lines? There's a level 1 and a level 2 scientist. And they hardly have any data to work with. And as you get less data to work with, this rate goes down. So I think it becomes kind of an exponential thing. I think trying to get this to 0 is just a fool's thing to do. And so I was being a fool. Jump the vessel. About 80 days. I don't think it's worth it. All right, delete and close. Okay, we should be sitting just outside of Kerbin's SOI. We are. We're about an hour and 27 minutes away, so we're going to time warp away. Just time warp it. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't trust the auto warps or any of that stuff. Now, speaking of science, I bet you anything these guys are full. They are not. So they still have science to process. Okay. There's Kerbin. Hello, Kerbin. Okay, so we're going to focus this on Kerbin. And get rid of our communication lines. Those aren't necessary. Okay. Wants to focus on the moon. I use the hopscotch over to Kerbin. There we go. Okay, so we got a periapsis of 64 kilometers, which is not very low. So we'll do an adjustment in just a little bit. But what I do like is just where it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up Trajectories, which is right here. We just turned it on. And you can see here right now where this red line is us in the atmosphere. And then this line here is our trajectory. The white line is our trajectory. So we're barely affecting our trajectory at all. And so that's no good. So what we're gotta do is we gotta make a maneuver. And will it be better to go, I'm gonna see what has more of an effect. So I'm gonna put this up to like 5 meters per second. Retrograde does that. Much difference. Radially in does that much difference. Well, the radially in wins the prize for what's going to affect things most. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do, let's get rid of the maneuver. We're just going to point this on radially in. Going to turn the thrust limiter way down. Way down. Like that. We are going to go through retrograde. I might as well put that there. Get rid of that. Okay. And we're going to burn a little bit radially in. We're going to see. We want to get a capture, right? That's our goal. Now we still have a fair amount of fuel, 953, so I can use the fuel as well. That's at 47 kilometers. I've always found... Okay, and that leaves us out past... I like it. I like it, I do. Looks like our apogee is going to be... Our apoapsis is going to be way out here. I like it. I'm going to go with that. So about 47 kilometers. We can actually just be done now. And now we got to be a little careful because... Trajectories does look at the profile of the ship and calculates how much drag does it think it's going to produce. And I did enter in here. I'm going through retrograde. I did. But it is taking into account the drag from these solar panels, which is actually significant. But if I left them out, they're not going to be alive for very long. So actually, it is going to be probably a little more than this. But I'm wimpy. I'm going to not bring down my periapsis any further than that because it makes me nervous and I can't revert. I can't quick save. Create an alarm for periapsis and give me like 20 minutes warning on that one. There we go. And I think on Kerbal Engineer you can get a time to atmosphere. Let's just edit this one HUD here. Just to show people. Maybe surface? I think there is a time to, like, hitting the atmosphere thing. It ain't there. Body. This is just information about the body. Yep, that's no good. Maybe it is orbit. Maneuver. Time to atmosphere, right here. We'll install that. Well, that's interesting. According to Kerbal Engineer, I'm not hitting the atmosphere at all, but I clearly am, so I don't like that. But I'm sure this alarm's okay. Oh, what do we got happening here in the chat? Let's reorient this. Zoom out and click on Kerbin's orbit line around the sun. That always works for me. Oh, I'm not sure what this is in reference. Store 2 solar panels just for safety. I'm going to store them all. I will store all the solar panels. I think time to atmosphere is under miscellaneous. Oh, well, I did just find it. So anyway, lots of useful comments that I didn't notice until after. But I'm curious why. Let me just look at Kerbal Engineer one more time. So someone's thinking miscellaneous. Maybe there's a different time to atmosphere. No. Okay, that's all right. But I'm curious why that's... It's a little bit confused. I'm sure this alarm will be safe, he says. All right, I'm going to bail on the... I'm going to get these folks home. Because what's more fun than having lots of stuff happening all at the same time? So switch to you. All right, and I don't think there's any science anywhere on this vessel. We'll transmit what science we have. Lots of electric charge. I just want to make sure there's no science hiding anywhere. No, I don't think so. Now, there might be science in here that I stored. There is. Look at that. I got review stored data. 14 stored datas here. Oh, I could crank out more. No, you know what? We're just going to bring this all home. Screw it. We're just going to bring it all home. Because I want to bring everybody home. Okay, so everybody is going to go aboard. So who is our pilot? Our pilot is Deborn. Where are you hiding, sir? Where are you hiding? Oh, wait, there's another. Might be up here in his own room. Transfer you into here. Transfer our engineer into here. Transfer our scientists into here, and transfer the other scientist into here. This should be full of fuel. It is not. Ooh. I don't know how much fuel I have aboard, though. Should be enough to get home. I shouldn't be worried. If I click oxidizer, there's just dregs left behind. Okay. This one, and this one. Might as well take whatever dregs we got. Out. And I know that... Oh, it's liquid fuel and oxidizer. Okay, there. And then... out and out. And I know half of that's going in here, but that's okay. And I'll close that window, and then we'll do that one out. And then out and out. Okay. I'm sure they'll be fine. All right, so where are we at in terms of our orbit around Kerbin? So these guys aren't quite in the right spot. When's this alarm? For 2 days, yeah. I might check in on them later. I think this orbit rotates this way around, so we'll go back to our other crew here. Wherever they are. Huh. Why am I not seeing them? Oh, maybe I'm not in the SOI yet. Switch to here. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe that's what's got Kerbal Engineering Company all confused. I thought I was in their SOI. Where is Kerbin? Where are you? There you are. Gonna keep an eye on this. Okay. Okay, we're coming in. And there comes the time warp turning, slowing in an appropriate time. Okay, delete that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to transmit what science we have. Just in case, you know, things go horribly wrong. At least they're, you know, did something useful. And now we're going to get our engineer. We're going to shut down this. Yeah, I think, well, we can get a little closer. Still doesn't say time to atmosphere. I find that interesting. We're clearly going into the atmosphere, right? Right. What's our periapsis? Yeah, we're clearly going into the atmosphere. We're 14 minutes away from periapsis. That's close enough. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lab, so stop research. And we're going to get our engineer, Bill. And Bill's got some work to do. He's going to try and stow away these solar panels. And hopefully he can reach just... Yeah, this is going to work. So I think just that. That's all you got to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That was easy. The better plan, obviously, would have been to have the solar panels that you can retract, but that was just an oversight on my part. I just noticed my lights weren't on. Lights on. I'll keep an eye on electricity. Maybe lights is not a good idea. And people were talking, I got that question about the middle part. So you can see in the middle part, antenna, docking port for docking with the space plane that we're going to be docking with. All right, let's do this. Let's get down there. Let's see how this goes. So we're coming in at about 3,000 meters per second. Oh, more than that. I'm gonna arrange this onto the retrograde like so. I'm in engine first because the engine can take more heat than anything else. And normally in my regular game I would definitely have quick saved before now. But yeah, I'm supposed to be playing hardcore mode, so... When do I switch to retrograde? When I'm about to go into the atmosphere. That's all. So there was no timing other than I want to be switched to retrograde as we go through the atmosphere. You want to... The engine, you want to take the brunt of the heating. Because it can take it better than any other part. And hopefully I don't have any bits hanging out in the airstream like this docking port or this antenna. If I do, well... That's that. And hopefully everything will go well. That's all I can say. Okay, 76. Still time. That's funny how that's Oh, orbital period. Maybe it doesn't like the fact that I'm in a hyperbolic trajectory. Maybe that's what it is, why it doesn't like this timed atmosphere. Okay, we have entered in the atmosphere. We're just under a minute from periapsis. Things will get hottest at periapsis. Here we go. We have the Firefly mod installed for all of these effects, which look really cool. Nice, awful, terrifying looking glow coming from down there. Oh, chunks. Okay, there we are 30 seconds away. We got a bit of a heat bar on the motor, but that's okay. Like I said, the motor can take it. If that motor explodes, we are in a heap of trouble. I can tell you that. 15 seconds from periapsis. 10 seconds. We're fine. Still haven't gotten a capture yet. 3 seconds from periapsis. 2, 1, and now we should be on our way back up. And we should be through the worst of the heating. And I know this is like, you know, what are we doing? Like over 3,200 meters per second through the atmosphere. But when you come back from like the moon or Mimbus, you're not that far from that kind of speed. So it's not that different. Of course, I got heat shields. Okay. Coming out the other side. I might leave this sucker in orbit. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to install all of those solar panels again. Just enough to kind of keep it going. There, that went. Oh, whoa! Wait! We do not have a capture trajectory. See what I? Nope. So what we got to do? Yeah, burning. We don't have a capture. There's our capture. Okay, and that's because. There we go. Let's bring that down. No biggie. And that happened because of Trajectories was calculating the drag from those solar panels, and then I removed the solar panels, so this thing became suddenly a lot more slippery. Yeah. So we do have another. There's our next trajectory. This is now an accurate prediction of what our next orbit's going to be, but what I want to do... Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Let me get some water. Oh my golly. Oh my golly. Okay. What I want to do first is get my inclination better. So we are aiming for this airplane. We're setting that as a target. And we have our DN nicely out here with our AP. That's what I was shooting for. And we want to zero out this inclination. Excuse me. So we're just going to do that. And we're going to keep our periapsis about the same. Still around 45-ish degrees. Is it? Yeah, it was that way. Wow, look at that. I'm getting close to an encounter, which I don't want, but it's kind of funny. That would be one high-speed encounter, that's for sure. Keep it around 46 kilometers, sorry. I think I said 45 degrees. Normal here. A little more on the retrograde. Should be able to zero this pretty much. There we go. I like it. Okay, so we got that burn coming up. Everything is good. Let's get our engineer back out. Bill. Bill's got work to do. Now, all I'm going to do... Open this up. And I think I'm going to not run the science lab anymore. I think I'm good with that. But I am going to put just a couple of solar panels here. We will extend them. Bill will go back inside. And that's just to kind of keep everybody alive. There we are. Okay, and set up an alarm. Forward maneuver. 5 minutes warning. Add alarm. Okay, let's go check on our moon people. Oh, that's still nowhere near. Okay. I want to wait until this orbit is pretty close to being... Like here, we can do some time warping and you can see it. As we time warp, see how this orbit's moving? And the right time to make our ejection is when this orbit is in line with the moon's orbit about Kerbal. To be honest, it's coming pretty close. So we might do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Switch to. 7 minutes of terror is right. All right, we're ready to get out of here. Monoprop, do they have monoprop aboard? Just want to make sure. They have mountains of monoprop. Okay, we're undocking and we're getting out of here. All right, everybody's aboard. We have 1,378 meters per second of delta V. I'm going to back away from the station. Because I like to have multiple things happening at the same time. I find it fun. I lost track of what I'm doing. Oh, I want to get these folks into a slightly different orbit here. So let's, it's a pretty low orbit. So let's activate this engine. And let's, toggle on the torque. Toggle the torque. So we have reaction wheels. Is there reaction wheels hiding in here? There's a probe core. Toggle the torque on that. I think that's about it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to slap that onto the prograde vector. Turn the gimbal limit on that motor down. And we're just going to raise our apoapsis just so we're not in the same orbit as this guy. So a little bit of, doesn't have to be much. Get up to 18 kilometers. That's pretty good. And we'll time warp. We're still more than 7 days away from the other maneuver we got to worry about. So no rush. And they have science aboard. Wasn't there science aboard, or did I leave it behind? Did I leave it behind? Oh, I'm time warping. It just doesn't see it. There's science aboard. I'm good. Oh, somehow I lost a parachute. That's interesting. Do these folks have Oh, I left behind parachutes. Oops. You guys are okay. It's fine. What do you? A parachute's not going to save your life anyway. All right. 5 minutes from apoapsis. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay. Go around to prograde again. And we'll raise our periapsis up to about 18 kilometers, and then we'll plot a ride home. A little closer. Go. Perfect. All right, and then we got to plot a ride. So here's our orbit. We don't have to look at our station anymore. Let's just get rid of you. I'm a little bit early. I did that intentionally. We're going around this way. I need to eject myself in that direction. So it's going to be around here-ish, I think. Yep. And it's going to be around 270. The normal, isn't that the normal thing for getting rid of or getting away from? Oh no, 250. Yeah, about 270, isn't it? Getting away from the moon, something like that. And I want that trajectory to be just going straight out. So I'm doing it a little early. So more like so, like that, see? Like that. And now I'm going to look at my PE here. And I'm doing it early because you want this trajectory to be along the line. It's just the same when we were leaving Eve. I want it to be along the line of this orbit. So, but I can get to that by just popping ahead orbits. And I can watch my PE and I can just watch it going down as I do that because it's getting more efficient. Now I do have to play with the timing a little bit. I might have actually gone too far. Yeah, I think I went too far because that's 119, 141. If I go back in orbit, it's 107. Can I get it lower than that? No, that's about it. 107, 981. And then if I go back another orbit, it goes back up. So one more orbit ahead is actually the right place. Okay, and then we just adjust this to about, we're going to do the same trick of, I'm going to make this, our target is going to be, so people see it, turn on that, we're going to this station because docked with this station is these folks, whoops, disappeared on me. That station there is our target. Set that as a target. And we can go back to our maneuver. We can play with the timing to get the inclination as low as we can before we have to do something like that. You know, I sometimes wonder if you're better off, like here I got the inclination about 2.3 degrees, and it's because we're, you know, really the diameter of the moon and the scale of this game that's making it so that I'm actually coming in from above. I can't avoid that. But I sometimes wonder if I'm better by just changing this just a little bit so that one of these is fairly high, even though the inclination is now going to be higher, and then that makes the plane change cheaper to zero it out. I'm really thinking that might be the better way to go. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Whether it's the better idea or not, if it saves me. I've never done any kind of cost analysis or anything. And we're going to put this down to about 45 kilometers because I've come back from the moon so many times. And that's never steered me wrong. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to aerobrake into an orbit. We're going to rendezvous with that. Okay, so that is about that. That coming up in only 42 minutes. So let's do it. How do you show when to start the maneuver? Oh, like this guy down here? Yes. That's a very good question because the default is for that not to be on. But if you go into your settings, scroll down. It's down here somewhere. Here we go. You want to have on... Whoops. Just disappeared. You want to have on extended burn indicator. See, and if I take that off and hit apply, you can see how that disappears. That's the default, which is stupid, right? You want to have it. Why wouldn't you want that? Right? So that's, put that on. The default's it off. The other one you want to have on all the time is advanced tweakables. That gives you way more options in the VAB. Always when you start a new game, boom, boom, turn those on. They should be on by default, but they're not. Because there are some things about this game that are a little bit maddening. Okay, let's get to this maneuver. No, it's definitely not a mod. It is stock. There are some mods installed, but that's not one of them. Okay. Put that on to... Now, what's this? Oh, the burn is 34 seconds. Oh, let's put that full throttle. 27 seconds. That on the maneuver node, our silly level 1 pilot does not have the ability to, because, oh my gosh, what's this pilot? This pilot has only been to the moon and that's it. Hundreds of days, hardly. I mean, they've been up here for years. It's time to get them home. All right, and I'm gonna watch from here, and I want to turn off that PE like that. Oh, I got too many things. Okay, we'll figure it out. And 6, 5, 4, 3, and a 2, and a 1, and a go. Off. It always feels weird with this maneuver. Here's where I'm going, and this is the direction I'm burning. I love orbital mechanics. It is so crazy. Alright, let's get back to here. Whoops. Turn that off. And I want that down to 45 kilometers. Good. Good. Okay, we are not too far from our SOI change. I do want to keep... Oh! What happened to my alarm? Hang on. Okay, they're over there. Okay, they're okay, but I lost my alarm. Alarm clock? Oh, it's there. Why isn't it showing up here? Oh, probably because I'm not on the right okay, I'm not. I was panicking there for a moment. Let's get away from the moon. These guys as well. Think about solar panels a little bit. Get perpendicular to the nebula galaxy thingy for these solar panels that are just on the sides. Bye, moon. Been here for way too long. Absolutely no trouble there, Matrix Gaming. There's a lot of things about this game that are very far from being intuitive. And the problem is, like, I've played this game for well over 10 years, and I don't think about it. There's stuff I don't think about, and then you know. Am I out of the SOI? I'm out of the SOI. Okay, here we go. Alright, so, I'm going to make an alarm here. See, these guys are telling... I'm 5 hours and 35 minutes away from periapsis. I'm going to keep that alarm going, but this is still 7 days for these guys to get out to here. So, these guys are flying. So what we'll do is just time warp this way. This is just safer. Warp to here. And watch Kerbal coming in on us. So basically, this is the same process as what we just did with the much bigger vessel, but it really isn't that different. We can turn on trajectories once again and make sure we're on retrograde, and trajectories should, oh, there, give us a prediction. Now, this prediction's a little bit off because, again, I have some deployables like this. This service bay, when the doors are open, that's a surprising amount of drag. So it is calculating that into it. So it actually is going to be a little higher. But what we're going to do, I'm going to pin this menu here. I'm going to pin this menu here. And we're going to retract that antenna and close the doors. Some people might be going, you should have that on an action group. I do. It's the same action group as the lights. It's on the lights action group. But the issue is that I still only have a tier 2 VAB. These are one of the things I want to rectify. Okay. All right, we're going to get down there to the atmosphere. Again, we're going to orient this in a retrograde direction. Locked to surface retrograde, because that's your actual... No, there really isn't that much a difference. Oh, target's there, but orbit and surface aren't that different. But I like to go on surface because that's your actual path through the atmosphere. To me, that seems a good way to do it. Oh, whoa, I still got an antenna on this side that didn't get chopped off. Let's, can I reach you? Can I reach you? Come on. Oh boy. Oh boy. This way, open. Retract. And close. I should have really... I didn't realize there was one on each side that I obviously did just for looks. Okay, here we go. We are doing the plunge. We are just over a minute away from periapsis. 3 kilometers per second coming into the atmosphere. Again, not that much slower than when we were coming here all the way from Eve. It isn't that different. Some people use the open doors as an aero brake. Yeah, that's true. That's actually not a bad idea. But, well, I want to keep, actually, my AP up pretty high because I want to make a plane change. So, I'll be honest, I wasn't thinking about that, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm going, yeah, that's the reason why I didn't open up the doors. and to be doubly honest, I probably shouldn't have let my periapsis be as low as this. Because I probably should have left my... It's going to be fine. Should have had this up higher than it is. Oh, well. There we go. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, and we're past periapsis, on our way up. Nothing too scary happening. No revert, no save. That is correctly right. That's the hardcore part of this, for the most part. And the science at only 30% of normal. So I am really looking forward to now. Look at that, almost 9,000 science sitting in the bank. I am so looking forward to spending that. It's going to be an unlock palooza. As soon as you do your first interplanetary mission. Whether that's doing like what I did, going to Gilly, or Duna is obviously a good target. I would also highly recommend going to Ike. You know, things just open up after that. It just blows the doors off of it. I think that's just the nature of the game, though, because, you know, getting yourself to going interplanetary is like exponentially more difficult than going to the moon, and exponentially more difficult than just getting in, and the moon is exponentially more difficult than getting into orbit. So, you know, the science should kind of scale up crazy like that, but oh well. Or else why would you bother even doing it? All right, we are almost out of here. We are now out of here. We're going to open the doors, extend both those antennas. Where's the other one? We really only need to extend one, but I don't know. That's me. And we're going to orient again for solar panel purposes. Just like so. This can be back on orbit. Oh, I'm still locked to retrograde there. Something like that. Okay, and then out here, same plan as what I did before. We're going to add a maneuver here at the ascending node this time. And what we want to do, come down this way, let's turn off trajectories, is there's the DN, there's the PE. I want the DN to be a 0. I want the PE to be about 45. Maneuver, maneuver, maneuver. Anti-normal, probably. Yep. So I scale way too low. Okay, where'd my DN go? I can't even see it. There it is. So hard to see the number. There we go. Now I can see it. 13 degrees. Okay. A little higher scale. Okay, and a little bit back on the PE. A little bit more anti-normal. Whoop, that was too much. A little bit back on the PE. A little retrograde, that is. Again, I went too far. Trim the scale down a bit. So it's pretty good. 0 there. No, I can go lower. Just doing retrograde and normal. So there we go. That is so darn close to 45 kilometers and 0. I like to get the AN and the DN to be on equal sides of the periapsis. That gets me to say, like, I'm really at 0. So that maneuver is coming up in an hour and 1 minute. So I'm going to set an alarm for that. I can find the right button. Create an alarm for that maneuver. And this is actually for the Cerberus, is the name of this vessel. Because it holds 4 Kerbals. Don't ask me to make sense of that, but that's what it is. So we got 2 maneuvers coming up. We got the Cerberus coming up in just under an hour. We got 6 days still for our Ares vessel coming back from Eve to make its plane change. A lot of aerobraking to do, a lot of rendezvousing to do, but you know what? I think that's all going to have to be for next week. So we're going to be drawing this stream to a close, just talking about what's coming up over the next week. Tomorrow, new RP1 video. Saturday, new RP1 video, so I'm hoping people are looking forward to those. No more streams, at least for now, on Thursdays. I'm kind of taking a break from the Thursday stream just to get a feel for the flow of the RP1 videos, and then if I get a feel for that, I'll decide what I'm going to do again with the Thursday. But for now, Thursdays are kind of out, so we'll be seeing this again on Tuesday. I hope all of that kind of made some sense. But anyway, for now, thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks everybody watching this at a later date. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who support the channel directly, and also to those that support the channel indirectly by feeding the algorithm, by participating in chats and participating in the comments down below. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.